New York City's water. Bottled water at that. It's done and so.
We're not with the energy, right? We're not. This has saved lives. Now, I didn't even think about that.
Do all of that, okay? Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you didn't already know, it's Dada Zoe, and let's get into this video. I've been wanting to drop this particular video about sex trafficking because it's a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a while now, and I also have a story time to go along with it. I will say a disclaimer right now. So to get right into the tips today, so I'm gonna put my own little spin on there because I don't know who the original person of the post was. So I'm gonna put my own little spin about some tips that I think that everyone should be aware of. No matter your gender, it doesn't matter. Everyone should know these. So my first one would be, okay, so if you're walking home late at night and you feel super uncomfortable and someone is following you, one of the things that I have done before personally is try to, well, obviously pick up the speed of how you're walking. Also pull out your phone, but don't be looking down at it. Like, have your phone in your hand because you never know if the person runs up on you and then they grab you and then it's all downhill from there. But have your phone out and try to see if there's anyone around, or if there is like a corner store or whatever, and pick up the speed and open up your phone, you know. At the same time, open up your phone, or sometimes you don't even need to do that. You know how, like, if you have an iPhone, you can like hit I think it is like the power button, and it'll go to like emergency call or power down. So you can just swipe the emergency call and it'll call 911 immediately. Another tip, this is tip number 2. So for this one, this scenario is going to have a garage, car garage in this. So if you are parked in the parking garage and you just came back from wherever and you're going back to your car, so this post, I think it's from Hope Magazine Inc. on Instagram. It said to, well, did it say it? Anyway, if you're in a parking garage, if your car is parked in the parking garage and you're heading back up there to obviously go get your car, you should avoid the staircase at all times. Like, avoid it, avoid it, avoid it. They said that that's like the main place where someone would be able to attack you, kill you, rape you, because it's a blind spot. So you want to avoid the stairs and take the elevator. Okay, so take the elevator. Also, as you're making your way back to your car after you get off the elevator, you should hold your key in the middle of your knuckle, like right here, the key end this way, and walk to the car like that. Because sometimes personally it's made me feel better when I have my own key like right in the middle of my knuckle and I'm walking around on campus, and I don't, like, if I don't feel safe, because my campus is an open campus, it's not like a private bars up type stuff. So that's what I do to make myself feel better. Another one, just walking home. This is the third tip in another scenario to go with that from my own personal experience. So I used to go to a place called like Book Stacks in my town all the time, and like after I like left that place from like reading or getting on the internet or whatnot, I would feel really unsafe. And people have always said like, oh, this town is really not known for that, but it ain't gonna be me. I don't care. I don't even give people the chance You know, even though it doesn't happen, doesn't mean that it will never happen. But at the same time, I'd rather be safe than sorry. So I used to take the thicker part of my charger, because it was detachable, and then I would wrap it around my knuckle maybe like 3 times so I have a good grip. And then I would just walk home like swinging it in the air, and it made me feel so safe, because anytime like someone was walking behind me, I was like, try me. Try me, and it's over, and I'd be swinging it. So that's another thing. What's another tip I can give you guys? So this other tip can be in the daytime or the nighttime, it doesn't matter. So if you say that like you're chilling in your car, you know, parked wherever, and like you're sitting down and you're like writing or texting, who knows, you're just chilling in your car. And they said that this is one of the ways that they get a lot of people. They said they were talking about women in this post, but I'm like, regardless, whatever you identify as or whatever, it can happen to you as well. So this is for everyone. All these tips that I'm sharing are for everyone. But to get back in it, so you're chilling in your car and the doors are unlocked. They said that that's one of the most easiest ways for somebody to like jump in the car with you, or you know, just try to snatch you up, because you're just chilling in there. You're not really like paying attention to what's going on up and around you. You're kind of just like in the moment in your car. So they said when you're in your car, you should lock your doors. But even before you even get in your car, I suggest, and maybe this is my paranoia kicking in, but like I said, better than safe than sorry, okay? Better safe than sorry. So before you even get in the car, I suggest you look in the back seat, the trunk, because there are some crazy, wild people in this world, and you would be surprised. You would be very, very surprised at what someone is willing to do in order to get you. Very surprised. Another tip for you guys. It's coming straight from the post, so I'm gonna read it out for you guys. If you are ever thrown into a trunk of a car, kick out the back tail light and stick your arm out of the hole and start waving like crazy. The driver won't see you, but everybody else will. This has saved lives. Now, I didn't even think about that. Like, that is wild, and it is something that we should take into consideration, even further past consideration. Put it in your filing cabinet in your head and save that. But yeah, that is a very important tip. I didn't even know that you could like kick out the tail light and actually like do that. But that is great and amazing, and I like that tip, because some people, you know, when it comes to sex trafficking or kidnapping, just some people have that flight or fight instinct, and some of us don't get to fight. Some of us get caught in the, you know, what's that saying? You like a deer caught in headlights, you just stunned. So that's a very important thing. Even if you do get snatched up, you still have like that opportunity to get yourself out of that situation. So there's another tip here. Oh, this is another important tip. So I'm gonna be reading this right off the post. And I'll actually leave it in the description box below where I got this, like some of the tips and whatnot, so I can make sure I'm giving at least the Instagram post or person the credit that they deserve, because I'm getting some of the ideas off of here, but I really wanted to share it with you guys. So it says, if someone is in the car with a gun to your head, do not drive off. Repeat, do not drive off, right? Instead, gun the engine. For a second I got confused. I was like, is there a gun in the engine? Instead, start that engine up, right? And speed into anything, wrecking the car. Your airbag will save you. Now, I'm not gonna say it'll save you 100% because I don't know the statistics behind airbags, but that'll probably be your saving grace. If the person is in the back seat, they will get the worst of it. They will probably most likely go right through the window shield. The predator, the person that is trying to get you. As soon as the car crashes, bail out and run. It is better than having them find your body in a remote location. Now that's a good term. That is very true. So it's either, again, flight or fight in this scenario that they gave us, but it is better to, like they said, start up that engine and run into absolutely anything. Ooh, this is one thing that really got me. Okay, so this is another tip. If you are parked next to a big van, enter your car from the passenger door. Most serial killers or kidnappers or sex traffickers attack their victims by pulling them into the vans while the person is attempting to get into their car. That is a very great tip. I didn't really think about it that much, like when I'm like out and about with like friends or family and whatnot, and a van is parked next to us or whatnot. I never really think about that, but that's something to keep in mind, and I appreciate that because I didn't think about that. This is another great tip. So it says, look at the car parked on the driver's side of your vehicle and the passenger side. If a male is sitting alone in the seat nearest of your car, you may want to walk back into the mall or work and get a guard policeman to walk you back out. It's always better to be safe than sorry. I don't know, because they said if it is a male, but sometimes you never know. Like, people might want to switch up their game and actually send a woman out there, you know what I mean, and be sitting in that car, and you just never know. But just, I would say in that situation, I would say be on your guard. You know, you don't have to be extremely paranoid, but be on your guard. And like the previous post said, you can go on the other side of, not on the side that they are parked, but you can go on the passenger side and get into your car. So this story time has to do when I was living back in Florida. So I used to live in this place called Belle Glade. Yes, it's in the Everglades. Yes, there are gators and snakes. Yeah. So there's literally like all of those like reptiles and whatnot there. And my stepdad at the time was teaching me some of these tips that I've just given you guys, especially as like a really young girl, walking home from school or just playing outside, and you know what I mean, and like just being aware of creeps and people that present themselves to be friendly and they're not, and trying to lure kids and stuff like that. But I digress. So this story takes place in that town, and one day, it was like maybe 9 p.m., 9:30 maybe, because the sun don't come down until like 9 in Florida. But yeah, so I was about like, maybe I want to say 7 or 8 years old, and I was sent outside in the dark to go get some linens that we had hung up earlier that day, that we had washed. And I remember I was scared shitless. Like, you could hear the crickets like making all that noise. The moon was out. I was like, oh my God, there's wolves out here. Like, you know how your mind works when you're young, and especially if you have like a huge imagination. Ooh, okay. So I'm walking out there, the cricket's out there, and I'm just walking out back, and I'm kind of scared because I'm thinking about like, oh my God, like something's gonna pop out the shadows. So I try to like keep as calm as possible. And so there was a huge like abandoned building in our back that you could see from my backyard, and there was a fence, but it was like there was a little opening where people could just walk through. So like it was kind of sketchy that people could just walk through our backyard from that abandoned building, but I paid it no mind, and I did the first wrong thing. So I put my back to that sketchy building and where that opening was, and I'm taking off the linen, you know, I'm like just clipping them off, like it's okay, keep going, keep going. And all of a sudden I started getting really hot, and at the time I didn't know that this was my instinct like kicking in. So I'm getting real hot and I'm feeling like really uneasy. I started clipping faster, and then at one point I just ripped it down, and I felt someone grab my like face in my mouth and started dragging me like so quickly. I was like squirming. I was trying to get the person. I was literally so short at the time. I was squirming. I was trying to hit them. I was swinging. I couldn't see. I was trying to scream, and I couldn't scream because the person's hand was so big and it had covered my mouth and my nose, and I was like, I can't breathe. Like, it was so dramatic, so traumatic. And then like as we were approaching the fence, like I could hear, because we were like, my hands were swarming, and I could hear us approaching where the abandoned building place was, because I could hear like the fence and stuff. And took their hands off my eyes and their hands off my mouth and my nose, and I took my first breath like I was a newborn baby, and I turned around and it was my stepfather. I was shaking, I was angry, I was in such disbelief. I was so disappointed in myself. And at the time, you guys are probably like, girl, you should not be disappointed in yourself. You should be mad. You should be angry. But I was so disappointed because I did everything wrong. I put my back towards the fence. I didn't like look around my surroundings. I kind of just went with the flow, but I was hurrying, but I just did everything wrong, especially in my stepfather's eyes at the time. And I was like, wow, that could have, like, if this was real, like at the time when I was so young, I weighed literally like nothing. You could like pick me up with one finger and fling me, like but I was just like, wow, that could have been me snatched up, and it would have been the end of it because I did everything wrong. But my stepfather and I had a conversation really young, didn't even understand everything, the context of the conversation, because I was just like really in shock. But his reasoning was, oh, he wanted to teach me or just make sure that I was aware of my surroundings, which sounds really messed up, but that was his reasoning behind that. And yeah, like yeah, so that was that. I really don't have much more to say on his part, but I will say that ever since that day, I have been like just more aware of my surroundings. Maybe that it was really terrible for him to do that, but at the same time I am more aware of my surroundings, and I'm not so trusting, you know. So that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's super uber long, and that's what y'all get, because I didn't post for so long, and I feel like you guys deserve a quality video and like a long, lengthy one that is informative and not always fun and games. But I have more story times for you guys. I have reaction videos on the way, and please look out for my next yeah, y'all gonna have to keep a lookout for my next video. It's gonna be good. And I will see you guys next time. Please comment, like, share, subscribe, and please take these tips with you. And I will also be putting some numbers people can call, like for sex trafficking and and whatnot, down below. So yeah, thank you for watching. Bye. My followers. Ooh, sorry, we're being serious. I almost fell down. Let me actually look into this post for a little bit so I can see what else I can add for you guys. And so I'm gonna give you guys a little more sauce on this video.